2023 was very busy, and we've been spending a lot of time defending the huge legislative gains that the Democrats and President Biden made in the last Congress. These battles have ranged from taking action to reduce the impact of climate change to preserving our landmark legislation dedicated to reducing prescription drug prices. Unfortunately, the Republican majority has not been good at managing the work of the House, and that has slowed us down a great deal.
I want my Republican colleagues to give me one thing, that I can go campaign on and say we did.
They've been staunchly opposed to working across the aisle, and with such small margins, that's exactly what we need to do to get our work done. I've introduced 16 bills so far this Congress, and 87% of which are bipartisan. My Bipartisan Coastal Communities Ocean Acidification Act has already passed the House. My other bills include the Strengthening Local Processing Act, the Asylum Seeker Work Authorization Act, Relief for Farmers Hit with PFAS Act, the Healthy H2O Act, the Agriculture Resilience Act, Service Members and Veterans Empowerment and Support Act, Local Farms and Food Act, Food Date Labeling Act, Ocean Regional Opportunity and Innovation Act, the Iceland Act, Fishing Industry Credit Enhancement Act, the Rural Forest Markets Act, the No Time to Waste Act, and the Keep America's Waterfronts Working Act. I've co-sponsored 374 bills, and this year isn't over, including the Social Security Fairness Act, the Equality Act, the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, Women's Health Protection Act, the Green New Deal, and many, many more. Congress is in the process of crafting the 5-year legislative package to support American agriculture, nutrition, and rural development, the Farm Bill. We were able to encourage the House Agriculture Committee Chair, G.T. Thompson, and my fellow committee members from both sides of the aisle to come to Maine this summer for a listening session on the next Farm Bill. We took them on tours of farms and aquaculture sites, and during the committee's listening session, they spent hours hearing directly from members of our rural and agriculture communities about the challenges that they are facing, from dealing with PFAS, the forever chemical contamination, and the impacts of climate change, to expanding nutrition access and making a farm economically viable. President Biden visited Maine twice this year, and I really appreciated a chance to ride on Air Force One with my colleagues. During his first trip to our great state as the president, he toured Auburn Manufacturing Incorporated, which has experienced incredible growth thanks to Democrats' commitment to boosting domestic manufacturing.
Before the pandemic, nearly 28,700 here in Maine.
Earlier in the year, the First Lady also visited Maine, touring the Southern Maine Community College, where she saw the amazing work young people are doing to prepare for the careers of the future, like electric car repair. As the ranking member of the House Appropriations, Interior and Environment Subcommittee, I led the Democratic caucus's opposition to 131 extreme anti-environment Republican amendments, debating on the House floor for over 15 hours.
This is an outrage.
So just to clear up a couple of things, my colleague mentioned the founding fathers. Robert E. Lee was not actually one of the founding fathers. He was a general of the Confederacy.
As a member of the Appropriations Committee, I'm extremely proud to have brought home nearly $300 million in federal grants to the communities in Maine's 1st District. This year, I've also continued to champion the common sense solution my Bipartisan Asylum Seeker Work Authorization Act offers to ease Maine's worker shortage. Just a few weeks ago, in fact, I proposed that the House vote on my bill, which would get asylum seekers into the workforce faster, instead of a punitive, short-sighted bill which does nothing to help employers badly in need of workers or asylum seekers who badly want to earn a living. I hope my Republican colleagues will see the economic advantage of allowing asylum seekers to join the workforce earlier and move toward enacting this change. I couldn't be more grateful for the work my staff does day in and day out behind the scenes to help 1st District Mainers. Among the countless services and claims they have helped with, here are some highlights. They have resolved 1,500 cases, expedited 267 passports,
secured nearly $400,000 in retroactive Social Security benefits, and helped deliver around $3 million in IRS refunds. In addition, my office has answered more than 41,000 calls, emails, and letters this year.
Good afternoon, Congresswoman Shelley Pingree's office.
As we celebrate and mark the gains that we made in 2023, we're also reflecting on the hardships Maine has endured this year.
The Mills administration has declared a state of emergency for much of Maine after yesterday's storm.
The tragedy in Lewiston has forever changed us as a state, and those we lost will not soon be forgotten.
Our hearts are broken for everybody who thought they were going out bowling, thought they were going out to dinner. We're just not used to these kinds of things in Maine. As you said, this is a very small city.
I will hold the victims, their families, and their loved ones in my heart always.
And I vow to work in Congress to ensure their names do not become just another gun violence statistic.
I believe that now is the time to make real change.
I've been in Congress for a while, and I've seen a lot of disappointments around the gun safety legislation that we would hope would pass. We thought after Sandy Hook or after Uvalde or many of the tragic shootings that this would be the one. But there is always a one. There is always a time. The United States can't go on the trajectory that we're on now with the number of mass shootings in vulnerable communities and people not knowing if it's safe to go to church or out to dinner or just to go bowling with your kids.
Gun violence is preventable, and it's wrong that so many in Congress have blocked any legislation that would end this uniquely American epidemic.
It came to our state, it can come anywhere. Now's the time to make some real change.
To save lives, Congress must reinstate an assault weapons ban high-capacity magazines, enact universal background checks, require safe gun storage, and end immunity for gun manufacturers. So as we ring in 2024, we move forward to build on successes, address our many challenges, and renew our fight for a better, brighter future. I'm so proud and so honored to represent 1st District Mainers in Congress. Thank you for your support. Happy New Year, Maine.